Okay, maybe the title's a little misleading. What's in the attic is not what some might say is actually vintage. True vintage would probably be like a Commodore 64, old Apple II, something of that nature. But by today's standards, this is very vintage. Let's go see what it is.
How do I feel about being a member of the Information Society? That's a difficult question because I didn't know we were in the Information Society.
Okay, so maybe it's not quite as vintage as I thought or remembered, because it's a Windows XP machine. But it's still very old. And now I just wonder what's on it. Does it even work? It's been up here in this hot attic. As you can see, we got all kinds of storage space here. We've got an old printer, an old Packard Bell. That's the one that's vintage. Windows 98. Been quite some time since I've used Windows 98. So let's get these down and see what's on them. See if they even work anymore. They may be fried from all this heat. Okay, we got the first treasure down. And little man right here asked me, "Daddy, where's the screen?" I said, "Hang on, buddy, I'm not sure if we got one. But if we do, to go with this computer, it's gonna be huge." Speaking of huge, let's look at the specs here. 64 megabytes of RAM. Not a 4 gig hard drive, but a 4.3 gig. 32x CD-ROM drive. And a blazing fast 56 kilobytes per second. That's per second. 56 kbs modem. Talk about some blazing fast speed. And I think we have a cat. What's that old phrase about curiosity? Mr. Kitty? Alright, so I've got this thing unboxed here, and it's been like 20 years or so since I've had a computer like this. And a little bit of a spoiler, I've already plugged it in, and it already roared to life. I forgot how loud these things actually are, these old computers. We've gotten quite spoiled these days. So just see if this microphone will pick it up. Listen. Wow. And we've got the old monitor here, 30 pounds of goodness. We'll plug it in too, see if it works. And we even have a mouse and keyboard in the box here. Well, maybe not a keyboard, but we have a mouse. It works. It actually works. I'm sure you're seeing some kind of fluttering on the screen there, since this is an old CRT monitor. But here's the specs. 333 megahertz Intel Celeron, 64 megabytes of RAM, 4.3 gigabyte hard drive, 56 kbs modem. Alright, so now more than ever, it is very important to back up your data and make sure that data is secure. Whoever owned this house before probably backed it up, but they did not make sure their data was secure. So we're going to troll through the old hard drive here. 4.3 gigabytes of goodness. Don't forget the 0.3, it's very important. And we'll see what the previous owner here had. So we got the computers both working. It kind of surprised me a little bit that they still did. They've spent probably at least 15 years or so, I would imagine, up in the attic in Tennessee. It gets very cold in the winter and very hot in the summer. It's quite humid up there. So, if I can leave you with one word of advice and a little bit of a lessons learned. If you're going to put your old computers up in the attic and leave them there when you sell a house, you might want to take the hard drives out or wipe them completely, because you never know who's going to buy that house later on and discover that your old computers that were left in the attic still contain thousands and thousands of pictures of, let's just say the former and original owner of this house was a rather big fan of ladies' pantyhose and lingerie. Just leave it at that. Thanks for watching.